Hi guys. Earlier days we have been traveling by the trains. The journeys have been fascinating, passing through the jungles, mountains, snow passes, deserts. Every time we went for a long journey in the train, we really enjoyed it. But nowadays most of the people travel by air, so there is hardly any charm in the flight. Whenever I get a chance, I try and travel by railway. So few days back, I found a wonderful railway that is called White Pass and Yukon Railway. So where is it? It is in Alaska. There is a small town in Alaska, Skagway, which is surrounded by Canada from all sides. One side is sea, three sides is Canada. So the train starts from there. It goes to Yukon. The train has got a long history. We were doing a cruise from Vancouver to Alaska by Princess Cruises. It's a wonderful ship. I have posted the videos of the cruise separately. You can see my channel and view those also. They'll give you a lot of information about this cruise and the ship. Now coming to the topic, there is a place Skagway. Skagway, the ship reaches in the morning and leaves in the evening. So you have about 8 to 10 hours free. You can go anywhere. You can do number of excursions there. So we decided to 2 or 3 of them which you can do. One is this White Pass Railway. It's a wonderful experience. You'll see in the video how beautiful the place is, how beautiful the journey is. Now let's start with the history of this railway. There was a gold rush in the Yukon province. A lot of people in the search of gold was coming there. But the route was very tough, and the Canada was not permitting them without proper clothing. And to take all this clothing for the gold rush, for the mining, you need to have animals and all. You could not carry anything. So there was a need for the transport to reach the Chilkoot Pass. So what they did, they tried number of collaborations with the Canada, USA, and as per law, Canada government did not accept any foreign company operating from their soil. But this was not possible without the foreign help. So they paid number of collaborations, etc., to start this railway. So finally it started in 1898 and it got completed in 1900. 2 years it took. Very fast it was completing. The route continued operations till 1982 and then discarded. In between number of times during World War also it went down to total movement of the military, and then again the civilian things, road built up and the things got deteriorated. The railway was discontinued, engines were sold, then bought back, and finally due to non-viability it was discontinued in 1982. After the discontinuation in 1982, in 1988 it was partially revived as a heritage railway. In 1897, three separate companies were organized to build a rail link from Skagway to Fort Selkirk, Yukon, 325 miles, almost 523 km away, largely financed by British investors, organized by a Close Brothers merchant bank. The railroad was soon under construction. A 3 feet, as per the U.S. and Canada stated, they call it narrow gauge, was chosen by the railway contractors. Because of this, narrow gauge was chosen because the width was very less and narrow gauge could easily turn along the hills, and very less width of the track was required for this narrow gauge to operate. Around 450 tons of explosive was used to reach White Pass Summit. Though the construction started in 1898, but they encountered obstacle along dealing with the Skagway city government and the local goons. They were not allowing it to happen because they were ruling the roads there. Finally, in the gang war, one of them got killed and the railway work started. On 21st July 1899, a excursion train hauled passengers for 4 miles, about 6.4 km after Skagway. The first train to operate in Alaska, and now also this Alaska train is not connected to any other railway network. It is an isolated network. Everything was brought by the ships and the trucks. The only entry point to Skagway is by ships or by sea boats or the cruise ships. By the February of 1899, the railway reached Bennett. In the summer of 1899, construction started north from Caracos to Whitehorse, 110 miles north of Skagway. The construction crew working from Bennett along a difficult lake shore reached Caracos the next year, and the last spike was driven on 29th July 1900. With the services starting on August 1st, 1900, by then much of the gold rush fever had died down. With the gold rush going down, the serious mining started. Professionalism came. Now it was the time of silver, iron, copper and many other ores. While the White Pass Railway never built between Whitehorse and Fort Selkirk, some minor expansion of the railway occurred after 1900 in 1901. Chilkoot Trail, 2.5 miles, and some minor tracks here, which later on, after the mining rush died, they were closed down. Till 1910, the White Pass Railway operated a branch line to Pueblo, a mining area near Whitehorse. The branch line was abandoned in 1918. A haul road follows that course today, but it is mostly barricaded, not in use. By June 1914, the White Pass Railway had 11 locomotives, 15 passenger cars and 203 freight cars, operating over 180 kilometers of track, generating $68,368 as revenue, whereas the operating cost was just $100,000. They generated a huge revenue of $257,000 in freight revenue. It was a flourishing railway. World War There was a major change in this railway as America feared that Japan might take over Alaska because that was the closest part of USA to Japan. So this railway was handed over to army. Large number of coaches and locomotives came. with the Army's additional 26 engines and 258 cars. The increase in traffic was remarkable. In last 3 months of 1942, the railroad moved 25,756 tons. In 1943, the line carried 281,000 tons, equivalent to 10 years worth of typical pre-war traffic. The peak movement occurred on August 14, 1993 when the White Pass moved 38 trains north and south totaling 3,346 gross net tons and 2,236 locomotive miles in 24 hours. That was a record created in those times on this narrow gauge line. Control of this railroad was handed back to civilian operators late in 1944. In May 1947, the railroad purchased its last steam locomotives and it was decided not to procure any further locomotives. Their numbers are 72 and 73. The picture of one is shown in our video. In 1951, the White Horse and Yukon Corporation Limited was incorporated, which took over this White Pass and Yukon Railway from the White Pass and Yukon Company Limited, which was in liquidation. The railway was financially restructured. While most of other narrow gauge systems in North America were closing around this time, the White Pass railway remained open. In 1959, the first dividend to stockholders was paid 10 cents per share. The railroad dieselization in the mid-late 1950s, one of the few North American narrow-gauge railroads to do so. The railroad brought shovel-owns diesels from General Electric and later road switchers from American Locomotive Company and Montreal Locomotive Works, as well as few small switchers. On June 30, 1961, the line retired its last steam locomotive. The Faro-led zinc mine opened in 1969. The railway was upgraded with 7 new 1200 HP locomotives from Alco, new freight cars, overlookers, and straddle carrier at White Horse to transfer from the railway's new fleet of trucks. A new dockyard was built at Skagway. A new tunnel and bridge that bypassed Red Horse Clutch were built to replace the tall steel cantilever bridge that could not carry the heavier trains. The enormous investment made the company dependent on continued ore traffic to earn its revenue and left the railway vulnerable to loss of that ore carrying business. The death knell of this railway came in 1982. Metal prices plunged, so there was not much of demand for the ore, as the railway started going in a total loss. And finally, the railway closed down on October 7, 1982. Some of the roads, Alco diesels were sold to railroad in Colombia, and 3 out of 4 and one of these was wrecked of the newer Alco diesels built by in storage with Alco Canadian license and were sold to U.S. Gibson in Plaster City, California. The 5 diesels sold to Colombia were not used there as they were too heavy and were reacquired in 1999. One was nearly lost at sea during a storm as it broke loose from the barrage and slowly rolled towards the edge. The railway was the focus of the first episode of BBC television series Great Little Railways in 1983. The shutdown, however, was not for long. Tourism to Alaska began to increase, with many cruise ships stopping at Skagway. Scenery of the White Pass route sounded like a great tourist draw. And the railway tracks were extended up to the dockyard where the cruise ship used to come. This was done with the aim so that tourists coming by the cruise ships don't have to walk much, come to the town to take the train, and they take the train right from the ship itself. Now most of trains are hauled by the line's diesel locomotives painted in green lower and yellow upper. However, one of the line's steam locomotives is still in operation, number 73, a 282 Mikado type locomotive. Another steam locomotive, number 40, 280 consolidation type locomotive, was on loan from Georgetown Loop, RR in Colorado for a period of 5 years, but was returned after only 2 years as it was never used. Also operational a few times a year is an original steam-powered rotary snowplow, as shown in the video, as an essential device in the line's commercial service days. Now, not much of tourists come in winter, and summer there is not snow, so this is hardly used for clearing snow, but once or twice a year it is just used just to make it operational and show it to the tourist as an attraction. White Pass Railway is a wonderful railway and the journey is too beautiful. You can enjoy the views even in summer. There is a lot of snow there at patches and there are beautiful lakes on both sides of the trail. This journey is not to be missed once. If you are going for a cruise to Alaska, when you are stopping at Skagway, you have a full day and make use of the time. Watch this video, share this, and this is a wonderful journey one should not miss. Thanks for watching this video and sharing it. Please do subscribe to our channel to watch the other videos on the Alaska and other places.